I have spent a lot of time helping other pharmacists figure out what to do next. I teach strategy, I build systems, I help people make decisions. So it feels a little uncomfortable to sit here and say that in some areas of my life and business, I have been figuring it out, what comes next too. But I think it's time for us to have like a conversation. So, hey y'all, I'm Dr. LaQuita J. I'm a pharmacist, coach, PharmD success strategist. If we have been connected, I said we haven't been connected for a while. You have noticed that I haven't shown up on YouTube consistently as I once have. And if you are new here, welcome. You are me doing a very honest spirit. I'll say a very honest season. And typically when I turn on this camera, I have a lesson, I have main points, I know exactly what I want to talk about, I know exactly what I want you to walk away from. But today is just a little different. Today is different because I want to talk to you from where I am, not only from what I know. And I want this to be a FaceTime. That's why we here. We on our lunch break and we having a kiki, okay? Because I have been working full time as a pharmacy director. I have been serving patients, leading a team, coaching pharmacists, building PharmD to RPH, and trying to listen carefully to what God is calling me to do next. And I have always been asking myself, I've been spending some time asking myself the hard questions about my capacity, my purpose, my business, and the kind of impact I want to make in this next season. Now, this is what I mean by the messy middle, because you probably like, what's that? The messy middle is that space where the old version no longer fits into, and I said the old version no longer fits the way it used to, but the new version is not fully formed yet. You know something is changing. You can feel it, but you don't have the every detail, every date, every answer figured out. And one thing that really remains true is that one question I had to really ask myself in this season, in this middle, is that, what remains true for me? What really remains true for me in this season? Not what worked 5 years ago, not what people expect me to do or to keep doing, not what looks impressive from the outside, but what remains true to me. And the answer that keeps coming back is that I still am called to pharmacists. I'm still called to be the person who did the hard part, earned the PharmD, and now they're sitting in an uncomfortable space between a degree and the license. They're sitting in an uncomfortable space between, do I want to move this job, pivot, change, because that has been me. Like, I've been the person who has failed the exam, the Naplex exam five twice, took it 3 times. I've been the person who failed the MPJE. I've been the person who was like, you know what, this is not working for me. I'm about to leave and I'm gonna come back. I'm like, this is not me. So, and I've been the person where it's like, God, I'm ready for you to move, but I'm uncertain of what's my next direction, and I don't want to move just to move. So I've been all these people, and it gets kind of like that. All right, so I get it, but I realize that I'm still called to the pharmacist, who is intelligent, who is capable, and educated, but has started to question themselves because maybe the Naplex was a barrier between where their life is and where they're in the life that they work so hard to build. Maybe it's the job. Maybe it's this, I don't know, next phase. I'm still called to help you stop seeing yourself as someone begging an exam, a job for permission to move forward, but to start preparing as the pharmacist you already work hard to become, the pharmacist you already working in now, because that has not changed. When I really say to pharmacists, like, you earned a PharmD, I help you become the RPH, you know, that I really mean that. And there's a thing too, like in the RPH, it's not just like, oh, you of course like initial license, but be the RPH that loves what they do. Be the RPH that's saying, hey, this ain't working for me, let me move on. Okay. So you might be asking, like, why am I returning now? Why now? Well, I could have waited until every detail was polished. I could have waited until every offer was finalized. I could have even every video was recorded and every question has been answered. I could have waited, because even here right now, it was a lot to get this done. Okay. I could have even waited some more, say, well, this week is not going right, let me just start next week. I said no, let's get the people something to go through and let's talk about it and let's have it. Okay. Even I need to get back, zoom out, and I'm like, babe, we sit here holding this camera. I done left the tripod, everything, but it's okay. We here. Because I think sometimes clarity does not come because you sat still long enough to think about it. Sometimes clarity really comes because you start moving again. So this is me moving again. This is me allowing you to see some of the process, the not polished result. This is me rebuilding my rhythm with YouTube, while helping you rebuild your rhythm with Naplex preparation, your career. And maybe that is why this series is happening now, because many of you are in a messy middle of your own. You're no longer a pharmacy student, but you're not yet practicing as a pharmacist that you imagine. You're in this pharmacy, you're in this space where it's like, this job ain't it. And it's like it was put out to be. You know, those who studied in that place, you know, you have the books, the notes, and the question banks, but you still don't feel clear about your process. You might have taken the exam before. You might have been carrying this disappointment, fear, or embarrassment. You may be wondering whether you still have it, what it takes to take the exam, you know? And it's the same thing goes to like pharmacists now, you know? So let me tell you something though, you know? And I'm gonna say this too, so especially those who study for Naplex. You're not starting from zero. You have knowledge, you have experience. You survived pharmacy school, okay? You have evidence that you have learned hard things. What you may be missing is not the intelligence. It may be clarity, support, structure, accountability, a study system that helps you use what you already know. So, especially those who are studying for Naplex, between now and September 27th, we are I'm going to have a very honest conversation about what keeps pharmacists stuck. We're going to talk about the messy middle a little bit more between the PharmD and the RPH. We're going to talk about discipline. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about the restart cycle that keeps you creating, you know, new schedules without creating new results. We're going to break down my 4-part system of decision, execution, feedback, and accountability. I'm even want to take you on behind the scenes of me doing my Naplex math book, because I said to myself, I was like, LaQuita, one thing is this: if when you coming back, you cannot come back to these people telling you left off telling them you had a math book coming. You left them telling them that you cannot come back without that being there. So I'm coming back. I'm even gonna come back with a math book. I'm even gonna come back and invite you to a special masterclass, which is in my spirit on September 6th. So it's gonna be September 6th, and we holding on to it and show you that what it looks like when you lock in for 40 days with a clear plan. But today, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not asking you to be like, oh, you know, like I'm not asking you to do too much. Today, I'm just asking you to come back in the room with me, because I know that I've been away for a minute. I had a lot of things going on, and I had to really, like I say, part that messy middle and come back in and say, like, hey, life was lifing over here, and working. Like, granted, I showed up for my clients. Yes, I showed up for I showed up for work, but I wasn't showing up for me. So I had to show up for me. So here's the question I want to leave with you today. Where are you in your own messy middle? Are you trying to decide whether you're going to take a test again? Are you studying but struggling to stay consistent? Are you ready to move forward but afraid of being disappointed again? Tell me in the comments. Can you share as much as little you feel comfortable sharing? If you want to be more personable, DM me. DM me. I'll say I'm gonna give you a 1. Like I say, DM me perfectly on Instagram or Facebook, but DM me. That's totally fine. Okay, perfectly. But I'll say yeah, DM me, because if all you want to write, and even so too, if all you want to write is I'm still here, you can write that, because you still here. That really matters too. Okay, that really matters. Subscribe and turn your notifications on, because we diving back into this. We starting back, and next week we're gonna talk about some things. What it feels like, what it feels like when you have the PharmD, you wait to be the RPH, you don't know what that, you just don't know what that feels like, and why being in the middle, like, and not mean that you are behind. It just mean that, like I said, you earned a degree. It's time to come the RPH, and sometimes the messy middle is just that, being transparent. And I'm gonna share with you like some of my messy middles, going through it, because the messy middle was, I'm not gonna tell you, I'll say you for next week's episode, but I gave y'all all the instructions. Subscribe, like, comment to this video, this channel. And I'll talk to you guys later. Look at me. Until next time. Remember that pharmacy is on the viewer. Now go be great, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.